Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bowels of Spiky Ball Studios. We're live from the Dutch Hall. Here's your host. He's your two-time President's Club Award winner. It's Pete Van Dyke, folks.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Live from the Dutch Hall. I'm Pete Van Dyke, your host. We are Canada's only late-night talk show and the greatest podcast to ever get started in Pool Shed in Pine Grove, Ontario. I tell you that, bar none, because of these guys right here, the greatest band in Canadian late-night history, the Nocturnal Emissions. Comprised this week on lead and vocals, Paul Etche, everybody. In the corner, also on vocals and tickling the skins, that's Kev Belanger, the French tickler, everybody. On bass, we're giving Wes the week off. He's back after watching all that Wheel of Fortune. Brandon McIntosh is here. And in the corner there, also on vocals and associate lead guitar, I'll say, Steve the Reluctant German, everybody. Hey. And the announcer that gave me such a fine introduction, that guy you might not recognize. He hasn't been on the show very much in a while. That's my brother, Paul Van Dyke there.
Hello, folks.
And I'm your host, Pete, but there's only one way to get this show started, and that's to get me to ask you guys nicely to stop playing the song. Hey, I forgot to tell you guys, it's a very, part of the hype should have been the big draw, the big prize, you know. I should be leading into this. I'm the worst salesman for Wes's 50-50 draw. This is a big deal. He did it despite our helping him. He made this a good draw. He asked me for help. I said I was going to do it on the show and I promote it and all. I forget every week because I forget everything. Steve, your job on this show, I'm telling you at the beginning of the show, because I want someone else to be accountable when I fail this time.
Sure.
The show is called what? Is it called? It's Climate Change.
The Dutch Hall addresses climate change.
Right. So I should make a commitment right off the top of this show that we, on behalf of Dutch Hall, are going to address the universe climate change. Right?
All right.
We're going to give our stance on climate change on this episode. This is what I promised the listeners, right?
Yeah.
Steve, can you make me stick to task enough that I eventually at least address something to do with the environment on the show?
No problem.
And you also wanted me to throw in flat Earth. Am I right?
For sure.
So let's just throw in flat Earth. If you keep me on track to go something about the environment and something about the Earth being flat, I'll say we talked about climate change.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
And the other thing is Wes's draw, right? The 50-50 draw. Yeah. It's today. It's a big deal. There's people that are maybe even in this room could win.
I'm going to win.
In fact, Paul, I'm surprised you're still here. Usually you just do the announcement and you run right away, right? Are you sticking around for this draw?
Yeah, hopefully you don't drag it out till the end. I gotta listen to all your shit.
No, I just wanted to, I'm going to drag it out for long enough to ask you about your new strategy about this program, right? I think you've drawn a line in the sand recently. Is that right? You usually will come here at a certain time in the Dutch Hall. You'll come on a Thursday. Every once in a while, you got something going on in your life, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, you show up and you're here early, and then before Charters ever shows his pretty face, you're long gone, right? Because you're not going to wait for that diva. You want to get on with the show, right? Yeah. You're like, you will give us your gift, that is yourself, your personality, that the listeners at home and the people that watch on YouTube have grown to love Paul Van Dyke on this show. Yes. And you just give them the announcement and then go fuck yourself to the fans is what you say, right?
Yeah, it's too late.
So what could we do to get you to stay at the end of the show? Start earlier? Would that work?
Oh, yeah, let's start at 8.
Start at 8, okay.
Then I can be in bed by 10.
Start the program at 8?
Yeah.
Where we're recording at 8? So then the band has to practice at, 6:30?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's easy for me to say. I don't do nothing.
Right, you show up here and do that announcement, and these people toiled. You see, when you guys came in here, none of you guys even heard of that song. I said to you, please learn that song. You have 15 minutes, and let's go.
Go. Chop,
And
chop.
what they did was that.
Yeah.
Was all right.
Pull it off.
You know what's great is like, Charters isn't here,
Yeah, that is great.
and Dave Charters, you never met him, right?
I've been on this show 4 times. Never been on once.
Never been on. Usually, I like to get you on when Dave's not here because it makes Dave like just ashamed of himself.
As
Yeah, that he's even in the nocturnal emissions. You know, because last week what he did was he made this whole deal, and Shazma, to his credit, sorry,
that's all right.
wow. No, I'm sticking to it. I got distracted by there's something shiny happened and a phone drop. To his credit, Charters comes out. He has the gall to talk to our director, who's got enough stuff on his plate. He's got to direct this show. He's got a vision of his own. He's trying to tell his story back there in the booth. Charters goes up to him before the show and says to him, "I'm going to do a walkout. These are the things that I want you to shoot, right? And I want me to look like a superstar coming in and all this shit." Shazma, I haven't heard this from Shazma. This is what Charters told me. So this is what he says happened. He goes, Shazma says, "You do your thing and I'll do mine," right? And then when I'm watching the monitor for that show, I don't see him do it at all, which was the funniest thing ever, that Charters had this whole thing cooked up just to make himself look like some sort of a superstar.
Diva, I think is the word.
Yeah, and he was like, like Shazma gave him exactly the credit that he deserved, like, which was none, you know? It made him, his idea was dumb, and he was not the focus of the band. The rest of the band was way better than him, didn't you think?
For sure.
Like you guys put up with him every week, right, Steve?
Every fucking week, yeah.
But you let him stay. Why? Because he was the first one?
Yeah, he wrote some of the stuff we do. No.
He did? Oh, yeah, he did. But he hasn't done that in a long time.
No. His last creation was the Clean Flow theme song.
Oh, yeah, that's mailed in at best. Yeah, that's what he came up with. Goodness gracious. We're lucky they still sponsor us after that fiasco, the Clean Flow fiasco. Anyways, I think that's enough about him. You know,
Yeah, fuck
we've
that guy.
punished him enough. He knows just by having Paul here this week, he knows how easily replaced he is, and improved really
Yeah.
upon. Yeah. So that's his punishment. Now Michael Bowe, this is another thing. He said to me one time, I remember him looking at me dead in the eyes, and he said to me, "I'll never miss 2 weeks in a row, Pete. Never will I miss 2 weeks in a row." Well, I got to tell you, Michael Bowe, where's the camera that's on me? This one? I'm looking right at you, Mike. You better have a good goddamn reason why you're not here tonight. I'll tell you that right now. You will answer to it next week. I guarantee.
I guarantee when he's here
Yeah.
next week.
You will answer to it. What do you think, Paul? Was I too hard on him?
Nope.
It better be big news. I'm saying big news.
Big news.
If it's not big news, you're fired.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that too much?
That's risky.
I'm going out. I'm saying, Michael Bowe, you heard it from me first. You made me a solemn promise you wouldn't miss 2 weeks in a row. If it's not a good reason, you're off the show. That's all I'm saying.
You got to reap the
A
whirlwind.
note from your mom?
A note from his mom would help. If Aunt Fran says to me that Michael had something big going on, and then I would excuse that.
Okay, good.
Aunt Fran knows how important the show is. You know that. You know, the other thing that is conspicuously missing here at in the band, you'll notice, is Wes. Oh, yeah. Wes Hagens, you know. And we said it's his big draw, but then you see that he's not playing his guitar. And the reason is because he's my favorite. And I like to give him some time to rest once in a while. And today I said, Brandon, stretch it out, man. I wanted you to feel the bass. I wanted you to feel what it's like to be Wes Hagens. Yeah?
I like it.
It felt good?
I like feeling like Wes. It's powerful.
It is, right? You can say so much without saying a word at all when you live. Yeah. Like Wes.
Doesn't work the same with me.
No?
It's creepier. Just a stare that says too much you needed to know. I don't know.
You know what?
What?
Let's do this goddamn draw. All right. We don't have a jingle for the draw. 50-50.
Okay, we can
There you
do
go.
that.
Before we do this draw, we need to call up the groom-to-be who cooked up this whole scheme with his fiancée, Alisha.
Money. 50.
Whiskey Wes Hagens. Come have a seat on the couch, Wes. Oh, boo.
50-50. 50-50. 50-50. Keep going. Time for
Wes, you know
50-50.
you're my favorite.
50-50.
Yes, you
And you know that I
made
would
it very clear.
And you know that I would never, on purpose, forget to promote your show like 90% of the weeks that you asked me to do it, and
Nope,
it was
it's all good.
accidental. But
Totally
you still
forgiven.
managed to collect enough dough through this 50-50 thing so that the winner tonight, you know what will the winner take home tonight?
$1,452.50.
50-50.
Wow, $1,452.50.
You got it.
And Paul brought how many tickets today?
20.
20 tickets.
$100 worth.
$100 worth. I
Big
bought
old brown
one
bill.
ticket. One
Yep.
ticket. And if I win, well, Paul says if he wins, he's going to your wedding.
That's what he says, yes.
And
I've heard that before, though.
and I think that, but this will put a big chunk of the trip.
Absolutely.
Under your
I think
belt.
that pays for one.
I think that whoever wins this, usually when you get a 50-50 from a wedding, you just donate it back to the bride and groom, right?
Yep.
That's
If
what,
Paul comes, that's like giving it back to us, though.
yeah, but what if I say anybody who wins this should just go to your wedding?
Nah. I'd be all right with that.
You would be pickier at the beginning on who you sold tickets to.
I might
right?
have filtered it a little bit.
Yeah, you would.
No, everybody's good.
It'd be a smaller pot.
Everybody's good.
Oh, come on. You must have got one ticket. What if some good dude just sees you selling a ticket and you don't know
There
him?
is one. There is one, I will say.
A one wild card, you don't know who it is?
No, I know exactly who it is.
Oh, and you don't want him
I
on your
just thought
trip?
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that too, because now there's people out there
Not
who,
wedding material.
if somebody is listening to this for the 50-50 winner,
50-50.
they now think, I could win, I'm going to hear it right on the show, and was Wes just talking about me? That's what I think is really
I like
cool.
to keep them in suspense.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so how should we do this? Is Alisha going to be doing the draw here? Well, you got to at least reach your hand in.
50-50.
No?
Shake it then.
Oh, it's two. You want a third party? Someone that's unbiased? Because I'm biased. I have a ticket on
Yeah.
the line. I'll just read mine out. 0969. 0969.
Oh, I do know your number.
Yeah, because when I told you, I remember I did the eyebrow thing?
Yeah, you did.
I was like, 0969.
50-50.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know what that means. Ew.
Is your Kev there to do a drum roll?
No?
There
Oh,
it is.
from
There we
the
go. And the winning number of 1,000. Holy shit. Oh.
Ticket 127. Sweet Kelly.
What? Sweet Kelly won the draw?
Sweet Kelly.
That is unbelievable. Well, congratulations to Sweet Kelly.
Does Kelly have a last name?
Kelly Bow.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, this is
Be a
great.
Van Dyke or a bow.
Amazing.
But that is
The odds
actually,
were-
this
the
is
odds
her
were
lucky
good.
day. I think
It
this is
is.
really their lucky day.
Pretty good day.
You know?
Yeah.
Congrats, guys.
Well, there we go. Everybody, thank you very much for helping make this a success for
Yes.
Wes and Alicia. And before you
very
go,
much.
Wes, before you go, I don't want you to run away. You're welcome to stay all night. You're welcome to walk around, have beers, and or just not. You can abstain. Total freedom in the church.
Okay.
This show is your night to enjoy it. Usually you're slaving away there on the base, eh? Sitting like Brandon. Look at him there. He's getting tensed up. He's getting some cramps in his shoulders. He's holding that thing. He's wondering if he's looking cool. Like, that's not easy to do for a whole hour.
No, it sucks.
Yeah. Tonight, enjoy yourself. Just go and stretch your legs. This show is supposed to be about the environment, you know? And you guys are flying to Jamaica to get married, eh?
Yep.
And
Whole bunch of chemtrails.
yeah. Like our carbon
fucking
footprint
wait.
of this trip, Steve's going on it, right? Steve, you're going on it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going on it, and you guys are going on it. We're all like in an environmental hell, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
You will?
Absolutely. I love it.
It doesn't matter because it's warm, it's nice.
fucking care.
All you can eat, all you can drink. You have to. You can go in, you can get married, you can leave.
Yeah.
You know?
We're not going to change anything.
No.
I don't think so.
If you know what Coldplay said?
No, I don't listen to Coldplay.
No, you don't.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what Coldplay said. They said they were going to do a world tour. Then they thought, nah, we're not going to do it because we'd do more harm than good.
That sounds like something you too would say.
Yeah, but they're both right. If they stay home, if they leave and tour, they will do more harm than
I
good.
agree. Not so much to the environment, though.
Well, yeah, that girl, that little uppity girl from Sweden. What's her name?
Greta.
Is she from Sweden?
She is
Yeah.
from Sweden.
She is? Greta comes sailing over in a ship or something, right? Like a pirate? And that's okay for the environment, right? Because you're sailing on a ship.
It was solar
So
powered.
they say, yes.
Solar powered, made from psyllium.
Have you heard?
Finite resource. That's environmentally friendly.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory? Did you read about this?
No.
They found a picture of Greta Thunberg from 1898. She's in a. Did you see this? She's a pioneer girl.
Really?
Yeah, and she's with her little brothers, and it looks like it's the splitting image of her.
She has one of those faces that look like she just got off a ship in the 30s, you know? She has one of those square faces that say, don't smile, Greta. You know, it's a picture that the camera will take your soul, you know? And she's looking into the camera like, oh, they will take my soul? I will go in a ship and make everyone feel guilty. Fuck off, Greta, you know? Like, did anyone say that? Fuck off to this little kid? Like,
I think
it's
more
a kid,
people than you
right?
think. Yeah.
Must be a really rich kid to get a boat to sail across the ocean, you know, just to say her opinion. I have an opinion. I would just like put it on like Facebook or Twitter or something.
Yeah, you'd think
That's
that'd be
about
nice and
it.
easy.
That's a net neutral carbon footprint.
Right?
Yep.
Versus taking a boat across, right?
Yeah.
Greta. I bet you my brother Paul's carbon footprint is less than Greta's carbon footprint because he's never gone anywhere. No, you went to Panama. No, Paul gets around a bit. I shouldn't say that. Paul gets around a bit. There's a lot of people in Delhi that don't leave Delhi, eh? They've only seen Delhi forever. That'd be weird, eh? You know that it's a lot different everywhere else. It's weird here, as it turns out.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get out of their pajamas in Delhi.
No anymore at all, anywhere. I see people just wear pajamas all the time.
And their scooters only go so far before they die.
Yeah,
So we have
I knew an old man who spent his entire life in Hawtree.
entire life never left Hawtree?
Never left Hawtree.
My goodness.
Yep.
That is
Probably
rough.
dead now. Haven't seen him in 20 years. 60 then.
You think they buried him in Hawtree? I'd bury that. I'd bury that fucker in Otterville just to teach him. So you son of a bitch, we're gonna go and take you on a trip. Yeah, I'd weekend at Bernie's them around Norfolk County. You'd have a great time. You ever? So anyway, sorry, Wes. You don't feel any guilt that you're ruining the environment? Because I
none.
feel a little bit of guilt, and like I'm not going to tell you my crime, but I may have committed a crime. I don't know. It wasn't me. It was just some other dude. Who are you talking about? Me? It's not me. Anyways, this person I heard about, he had to get rid of his ceiling, right? So he had all this ceiling tile, right? And he's like, "What do I do with it?" And then I'm like, or then this guy's like, "Hey, you can get a bin from like disposal yard or whatever. You got to pay rent, and then they charge you for how much the stuff weighs, you know?
Not cheap.
Or you just gotta find a buddy with a lot of property that nobody can see burning a big pile of sealant stuff, right? And it just goes away.
Yeah, it's
right?
cold outside. We need heat.
Yeah. You can cook hot
wouldn't
dogs
feel
on
bad
it.
about
I
it.
would not eat the hot
No,
dogs.
tell your friend not to feel bad.
Right. That's
Cold
bad though, right? That's environmentally bad for sure, right? Is it? I don't know.
Some may say.
If it was asbestos, it wouldn't have burned, so couldn't be that.
No, it
bad.
wasn't
That's right.
asbestos. It
There you
was
go.
just a simple cork material, the guy said.
Perfect.
Right?
I tell your friend you're all right.
It's
He's
okay.
all right.
Now, if you, let's say, you bought this house, Paul. Now, I should say, as I said, both you guys. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. If you want to go walk out at any time, just leave. If you want to sit, go ahead. If you want me to get you a drink, I'll find a way to get you a drink. You know.
All right.
It's your night. Are you happy? Who won?
Yeah, I'm excited for them.
Do you think you're gonna make them come?
Might help speed things up. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? When's the wedding? When's the wedding date?
When's the wedding? February 11th.
The 11th is the actual date,
Yeah.
and then is that right in the middle of the week?
Yeah, it's on a Tuesday at 11 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. So then everybody's free to drink afterwards.
That is the best. That is like the wedding's over with at the beginning of your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole day you just get to party because the reception is the best part of a wedding.
Yeah. So breakfast and like probably a 10-minute ceremony and then party.
Oh, that's great.
12 hours or whatever.
Wow, come on.
15.
We're on vacation. You think you would ever fall asleep on a beach and just like not go back to your room?
I think it's a good possibility, yeah.
Have you ever done it before?
I have not done it, but last time I fell asleep at 7 for a quick nap and woke up at 7 the following morning.
A 24-hour sleep?
No.
No.
I fell asleep at 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah,
after a real fancy drunken dinner
Oh yeah.
and went for a quick nap before the disco. Yeah, woke up at breakfast time.
That's the thing about those places.
hours.
You're out in the sun all day. You're boozing from like breakfast on, and then all of a sudden it's like after supper, you're just beat. You just go right to sleep.
Yep.
Because you know what? The entertainment they have normally, I don't know what this place is gonna be like, but I've been in enough of these places in my life because I'm old. It's always shit.
Yeah, they got a good Michael Jackson show.
Yeah. Then they'll have one of those like black puppet things. You know, like black light puppet shows. You ever heard of that?
So.
No, they don't have any of that. What about a circus? Does a circus come in?
No,
No.
they had a reggae band and a steel drum band a different night. Michael Jackson, I think, was 2 nights.
Synchronized swimming.
A pool show?
Oh, the synchronized swimming was dynamite.
Yeah, synchronized swimming.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that too. Actually, I don't mind it. The circus one was really good. I saw that one at a resort one time, and they had one of these guys that was like could put his legs over his head and like walk around like a crab and stuff like that. Like he was a contortionist, you know? Put his head right underneath his legs or whatever. Like just fucked up, you know?
Sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I love that shit. It's like that is like freak show stuff. You're not allowed to have freak shows anymore, you know.
No.
But if they had one, I'd pay to go see it.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I'm curious, you know. I'm like, what kinds of things will I see that I've never seen before in my life? I'm curious, you know.
I think they should still have them and just not call them freak shows. So
Call them some. Well, they do. They call now. They're called. Was it Instagram or accounts or something?
people of Walmart.
Huh? People of Walmart.
Yeah, the TLC channel.
Yeah. Everything's pretty much that now. It's the world of that now. Anyways, have we talked about the environment, Steve? No.
Not quite. A little bit.
Now you think.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to say like Wes, you're like a Delhi guy, right?
Yep.
Born and raised. And how old are you?
36.
So in his 30s, right?
Yep.
Steve, you are a London guy, so a city, born in like a mid-sized city, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You are in your 40s.
44.
44. And you would have probably a different perspective on environmental issues than, say, someone like Wes, right?
Okay, yeah.
Would you say that? Brandon, you're about the same as Wes, right?
What?
Small town and
Yeah, I grew up in a small town.
same kind of age. Right? No, yeah, you're the same kind of age. And then, so you're probably more similar, you'd think, right? But who knows? And then you got Kevin. He's in his 20s. Kevin might have a higher vested interest in the environment than, say, an old chunk of rock like myself. You know what I mean? So, but maybe not. We should find out from Kevin. And Paul, you are the same as Steve and me and all that, right? Did you grow up on a farm?
I grew up on a farm. Yes, sir.
No, that's a different pickle in the whole thing, growing up on a
Living
farm.
off the land.
Yeah, because farmers generally hate environmental things, right?
Yep.
Which is weird.
Counterintuitive, yeah.
Yeah, which is weird because you think they would be really for it, but they're actually against it.
Vorlex by the barrel.
Yeah. And every time we would do something questionable on the farm, I would be like, say to my dad, like, I don't think we should be doing this. This is kind of bad, you know? And he'd be like, I remember when me and my dad would dump DDT in the bush, you know? Dump DDT in the bush.
We found DDT in La Salette on a farm we acquired.
Yeah?
And we had to call the ministry. It was like they had to fucking square it off, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a,
That
there's
was
a,
the 90s. Imagine now.
yeah, but back in those days, people would argue, like, don't take away my DDT, you know, when they try to change the rules.
Yep.
And like, it's the same thing with a lot of the shit that they're using now. You get hooked on it because it makes you do your job quicker and easier, but it doesn't really, if it's hurting people, then you shouldn't do it.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's what I think.
Thanks, Paulie.
But that's a controversial thing. I've been out of agriculture for like so long. I don't know if that's how times have changed. We know more things, or if it's just I'm like further from the source now, so I feel like I care. Like I don't now that I don't have as a vested interest in agriculture, then now I see the other side of it more clearly or something. You know?
I don't think you're going to change the mind of the farmer
No,
the day he dies.
well, you know what the farmer would always answer to is the public. If the public, if the consumer changed, like I always think about eggs, you know, like chickens. I remember one time they were saying how in England they'll only buy free range eggs, you know. They only buy not free range, cage free eggs, right?
Same thing. I think same.
Yeah, I guess so.
Same thing.
Yeah, you can't have a chicken in a cage, right? So they would just have these chickens walk around, just lay eggs wherever, and somehow they funnel them into this collection thing or whatever. That's okay, but the chickens don't shit on top of each other and all that stuff, right? So there's a big campaign in England, and they said no more chickens in cages, right? And the farmers said, this is crazy. It's going to be so cost ineffective, right? And then no one bought the other eggs, right? No one bought the ones that were like, we torture our chicken eggs, you know, that one. And then the people are like, well, if I'm still torturing my chickens and no one's buying my stuff, I might as well stop torturing my chickens. And then they'll buy my stuff, you know? That they'll answer to.
That makes sense. And also the other way of looking at it is free range eggs, you don't have the added expense of building a barn. Right? That's expensive.
No, they're still in a barn.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't want
I'm picturing them in the meadow in the Highlands.
No, that's what they should be. That's a dream, right?
Yeah.
I wish that too. I want to have like a 100-acre tobacco farm that I would just have 100 acres of ranch and hogs, you know? You just have pigs running free, 100 acres running the bush. Just make them, you watch their fur come in the wintertime and, you know, watch them be pigs.
Right.
And then when you want some pig in your freezer, you just have to go out in your, like, 100 acres you got fenced in, hunt a pig and eat
It's
it.
gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough pork though, Pete.
You know what? It'll be tough pork, but I'll be tough too because I'm ranching pigs.
That's a good
My
point.
fucking life now.
Good point.
Yeah, right?
Boar.
I'll eat boar. I'll eat the shit out of boar. I don't know. I bet you if it's tough, I'll cook it slow and low.
Yep.
Fuck
That is
it.
the tempo.
Right?
Yeah.
Guy Fieri, that bullshit. Anyways, we should, before we get too deep into our conversation, now that we know we're all our perspectives, I wanted to get the perspectives down because we're different. It's a bit of a swath from the 20s to the 40s. We've got about 20 years difference, different sorts of demographics, maybe philosophies, even some farmer kids, me and Paul here, who are probably going to be the worst, right?
We'll see.
Would you, would you, let's say you tore down an old shed in your backyard, and would you just light it on fire?
Why not?
I don't know. That's what I say too.
With the stuff in it, or are you gonna take all the stuff out? Like, what do we burn in here?
Okay, this is a real scenario. I'll give you a real one.
Okay.
If you bought a house and there's a shed in the backyard and there's all sorts of mystery jugs of chemicals, and then you were having a bonfire outside and having a few drinks or whatever, would you take all those bottles and just throw them on the fire to see what happens?
Weirdly, so Paul, that was on the farm. Absolutely, burn it up.
Yeah.
Fucking drink around it, whatever. Roast
Yeah.
marshmallows. 40-year-old Paul.
Yeah, it's different.
Maybe I take the stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah. Find out what you're doing, what you're breathing in.
I think
Yeah.
I've evolved as I've gotten older. And
Kevin, would you?
I'd like take every nail out and
Yeah.
like piece by piece and make it nice and put that pile there, that pile there.
Would you
and
burn
really
Would you
recycle it.
burn
No,
the liquids in a bonfire? No. One was acetate. I was like, would acetate burn? I don't know. We'll find out.
fuck yes, it will.
Or whoever did that. But I did that.
I'd
Yeah.
try.
Would you burn a pool table? Would you burn a pool table? Is that environmentally unfriendly? Most of my environmental
Depends on
crimes
the
are
material.
burning things. What?
Depends on the materials. Like if something's like heavily varnished or stained, I won't.
No?
But then I'll solder all day, right? And just pollute lead into the.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's- That's the thing. So
We all have
there's
our
a lot of
vices.
patches, right?
Yeah. What?
You spilled your drink.
Who?
Drink down.
Well, you have a microphone in front of you. That's the second one. I'm trying not to give these guys any sort of. I'm drinking bitch pops. I should have a chalice like a fucking guy who owns a church. Yeah. What I've done is like, but if I pour my own drinks, I pour stiff drinks, and then I end up fucking my whole Friday up. And I don't want to do that, so I'm drinking bitch pop.
I brought German beer and.
No, that's Dutch, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Grolsch. It's a great beer. Grolsch. Eh?
Sounds German.
It better be Dutch.
Holland.
Yeah. All right, Grolsch, one for me.
The Germans owned them at one point. Technically.
It was a brief period of time.
It was a brief period of time.
And then the Canadians, we fixed it, right?
Yep.
That's why they love Canada. Anyways, I got to get on to feedback. We got feedback. We got feedback.
It's feedback.
Oh.
Motherfucking feedback.
All right, welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's segment is brought to you by our friends at Amazon. They're not really our friends. But if you want us to do your shopping there and you go to livefromthedutchhall.com and then click on our banners, you can then do your shopping, and some of that money will come help us make the show better. And let's have a shout out to Clean Flow. Thank you for your support, Clean Flow. Best lubes in the business, eh? Best lubes in the business. And so last week we had, I thought it was a cerebral show. You know, what we were doing was an expose, really a parody of sorts, on the Wheel of Fortune show. What we did was we showed it for what it was. It was just a whole lot of clapping, way too much clapping, right? And what we did was we punished our listening audience by making them listen to an hour and 20 minutes of clapping, right? And we drove the point home so heavily that it was almost like torture for most of our people who have supported us for some time. And so feedback was tough last week. But we did get one positive piece last week, and I'd like to share that one with you. It's from a multiple-time listener of the week, Kevin Van Dungeon. And Kev says this. He sends it to us at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. He entitles it Dave. He says, gentlemen, great shows. I want to mention that Dave is the Guy Fieri of cookie eating. His reviews and love of the experience of Susan B's cookie masterpieces are fascinating. That is all. Kevin. Kevin, what you hit on is a great point. We've all kind of just let Dave do his thing, and week after week, have you noticed, Wes, that it's week after week, Dave's gotten progressively more into the cookie?
Oh, yeah. It's really awkward.
Like it's something like he's finding some sort of comfort that he's lacking in his life through these cookies, right?
Yeah, I think pretty soon you're going to have to start pixelating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Fucking gross.
Yeah, that's a good point. He is going to fuck a cookie.
Yeah, I think so.
Is what I think we all know that's where this whole thing's going is Dave, Susan.
Please make sure they're cooled.
If that
when you
ever
deliver
happens,
them.
I'm not going to give you back the same container. I'll buy a new one. I promise. Anyways, that leads us nicely into our best sponsor of all sponsors, our cookie sponsor, Susan B. Anyone feel like singing? Susie. Did I spill it again? Oh, good. I want to eat your cookie, Susie. Susie. What have you made for me this week, Susie? That's enough of it, eh? Yeah. All right. So this week, she says, hi, guys. Back to the basics this week with some peanut butter cookies. I think you were due, Pete. Yes, you know what? I was due. I was not overdue. Perfect timing, Susan. I was just thinking today. I did add a little Christmas cheer to some. Enjoy and have a fantastic show. Heart, Susan B. You want to do the creepy bang the cookie thing that Dave does? Or just eat one like a normal person?
I think I'll eat one like a normal person.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be like Dave.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have this one with the stars on it. Oh. Boom. All right. That's it for feedback. We got feedback this week. I pass these cookies around. You guys gotta stop playing and eat those cookies. They're so good.
Classic peanut butter.
That one's got like a little turd Christmas tree kind of thing like with chocolate.
Looks like she turned a Hershey's Kiss into a Christmas tree.
Ah.
Yeah, we're good. Nice.
Yeah.
It's ornate. Look at that. She took some time.
There's like an areola and a nipple, like a great big one, right? Do you think that too?
Yeah, I thought it might look like a...
I wouldn't eat it like that if it was an
Swirly turd.
areola and a nipple. I would do it from the nipple first. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you are is a seductress, Paul.
You gotta work from the outside in.
You go outside in.
You gotta go inside
You
in.
make her want some more. You know,
Sometimes you don't even go to the center.
I go right for the center.
Sometimes you get up and take a piss.
Before you ever hit the center. You're like, you're never getting the center tonight.
That's right.
You fucking nipple tease at
I
Jay.
am a nipple tease.
He is a nipple
That's a
tease.
fact.
My goodness. That is a guy.
Those are good cookies.
These are so good. Let's just take a break where we all just chew cookies and talk about it. Jordan's a new Dave, maybe. Did you smell it before you ate it? No. You have to. Smell it
Thought
now.
about
Is
it.
it too late? Smell it now. Does it do the same thing to you as what Charters does? No, it doesn't. Only Charters. It's weird, though, eh? You're not, you've never seen it, have you? Have you seen Charters on YouTube or anything like that? Like try to make out with a
Telling you,
cookie?
I don't fucking know that guy, man. I met him like once.
Oh, yeah. We should put a compilation together of Charters with his cookies, you know?
Yeah.
But let's give him a few more tries if he comes back.
That's right.
I know him by lore alone. just the lore of charters.
Yeah.
His puppet's here.
Well, I'll tell you something, Paul. When you meet him, you will be disappointed.
Well, I met him at. I had a drunken evening with him at Bushstock.
Oh yeah.
It was fucking night of my life. It was the-
Oh no, you weren't with Charters. You were with Chambers.
are you fucking kidding me?
Bushstock Chambers was there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, Chambers.
yeah.
Chambers!
Chambers is awesome.
Yeah.
Chambers is awesome. Charters is a cock.
I had such fond memories.
Yeah, Chambers is great.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I've gone on vacations with Chambers, and he's a hell of a good time. But Charters, no. The guy that married my cousin, terrible.
Disgusting.
Well, you've been in a band with him for like 5 years or something, right?
Yeah. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Haven't you been able
Well, 2.5 because he only shows up half the time.
to hear that?
That was good. That was good.
That's a dig that he deserved, my friend. He deserved it. What? All right. I got a couple more questions for you guys on the environment, and then we'll stop the show, okay?
All right.
Because Steve says the last one was too long, and we had to stuff through all that footage, and he thought that was terrible. I'm like, Steve, maybe you should learn to enjoy the art of clapping, because Teddy Clapson came down, and if he taught us nothing, he taught us to... Brandon, you missed it last week.
Yeah.
I know. I heard all about it. It sounds inspiring.
Yeah, you had... we asked you to watch all those episodes of Wheel of Fortune, and then you...
It was torture.
Are you feeling
I
better
don't know
now?
how anyone could clap that long.
Well...
It's impossible, really.
I gotta tell you, we did not mean to clap for an hour and 20.
No.
That wasn't the intention. We got wrapped up in the excitement with what Teddy brought to the show. And I don't think that if you were in the room, it was electric. You could just feel the electricity when the clapping started and the way that we were inspired. And I don't know, I think he taught us how to do it better. I don't know, I just felt like I was doing the best clapping of my life. And then I think everyone felt it in the room. And then, so in the room, it was awesome. On the podcast that people listen to, I'm not sure if it translated. Do you think so? Do you ever listen to our show?
Not normally when I'm here. I don't.
Oh, when you're not here,
I
you
listen
listen?
to the opener, and that's
Do you ever,
'cause I've already heard it once, right?
Yeah.
But
No, I get it. I think I'm boring too, Wes.
I didn't say you were boring.
Hey, I left my slap rattle at Swazi's in that gig, but it did go good. Thanks for everyone who's coming. I think maybe that Mary took it.
So
No, just kidding.
I got a story about that show.
What?
Well, I was on my way. We were getting ready to go, my girl and I.
Yeah.
Rudy had texted me and said, "Are you going to the show?" Fuck yeah, I'm going to the show. So we were just getting ready to eat, and my lady was making flatbread.
Yeah.
Just in a pan, and she flapped the flatbread in the pan.
Oh, thank you. Look at. Sorry, flap the flatbread.
And shot hot oil into her eyes. Ugh. Yeah, she closed them at the very last second, but she had hot oil burns on her fucking. To this, like, well, they're just healing now.
Hot oil burns in her eyes.
In her fucking eyes, like directly. 98% of it went on her eyelids.
Wow.
A little bit here and a little bit there.
She did not want to go to that show.
Yeah,
No.
That's what I gathered as well.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people who have done things
Yeah.
to get out of seeing my show, and that is the most.
the prize.
Yeah, that is a real commitment.
Yeah.
She knows my comedy.
She does. She does.
In order to go through that much trouble to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. No, it was a good show, and I hope is her eyes better. Your
They're
girl.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Immediately after.
Milliseconds.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Anyways, did Rudy come over?
I don't know. We didn't talk to him.
Where'd you go to the
Oh,
hospital?
I sent him a picture of her eyeballs, actually. And I said, "We're not coming." And I sent a picture, and he's like, "Yeah, fair enough." So, did he come? I bet
No,
you
he
eyeballs.
didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't come.
He was using me as an excuse.
Yeah. When if they're not going, then I'm not going. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Your wife's move cost me like 4 people in the audience, so you're not getting paid tonight. Is
Fair
what I'm
enough.
saying.
Fair enough.
That's it.
I was
He's docked. You know, James Brown used to say to his band, like, fine them as they're if they screwed up.
He used to throw 20s at, like,
Signals like, you're
signals at him.
fined, yeah. And everyone quit because he was such a cheap prick. He kept buying, like, his girlfriend's diamond rings and fur coats, and then these guys are getting nickel and dimed, and, like...
They end up owing him money at the end of the show.
I had a guy that worked for a tree plant like that one time who, like, at the end of the 8 weeks of working for him, he was giving some people bills, you know? And you're like, what the how does that work? Well, she didn't plant many trees. That's fucked, though. You got to really hate your parents to plant trees for 8 weeks and then pay a bill for it, you know? It's really bad. Anyways, environmentally, I personally, you know how they say, like, Venice is flooding, right? So then some people are like, you know, Al Gore's right. And then like everything, this is the end of times, you know? Venice is flooding. But am I kind of stupid here? But, like, isn't Venice kind of one of the first places that would flood anyway?
It's the first place to go.
Yep. And then what about, like, New Orleans, too? That one was going to flood weather. That's not like really a climate change thing as much as it is like bad city planning.
Urban planning, yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this thing about Venice too, and then they were like saying that there's a lot of these infrastructure things that they were gonna had to improve, but they didn't.
Yep.
And then this is how this resulted or whatever, you know?
Yep.
And then, but they're kind of spinning it like it's
Like a canary in a coal mine kind of
yeah,
thing?
like we're the first that'll be affected by it. Now we're the first that are going to be affected by climate change.
Right.
So we're, you know, like you should be looking at us. But I'm like, I don't think that's really the case. You just are both in shitty land. Like in Holland, they made land that was like out of the ocean, and then they just build huge dikes. Right?
When Phoenix starts flooding, that's when we got to start getting worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even think I'm going to start worrying when I see, like, once my house is, like, beachfront, then I'll be like, that's time to sell.
Yeah.
I think it'll never be higher, the price.
Yeah.
You get beachfront. Hey, imagine that, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. It's awesome.
You're nowhere close to the beach right now.
Nope.
I also think that we live on a huge planet, right? Mm-hmm. Huge planet. And then it's going to change. It's spinning through space. It's like lots of shit could happen to it, you know? Like and we're only here for a little time. We don't know what part of the crazy shit that happens this spinning rock we're going to get to see. But anything could happen, right? It's cool. And then if like all of a sudden, like one part of the planet becomes better to live than another you can't live there at all, then wouldn't you just move?
It's not the first time it would have happened.
Yeah.
Right? It's been changing for millions of years.
Like if people only lived like in the equator before or whatever, and then they're like, hey, we can live up here because it's not an ice age anymore. Or I know there's no people in the ice age, but you know what I mean? Like every once in a while, there's like people move where all of a sudden you can live there and you couldn't before. Yep. And then some places you could live there and now you can't, like Chernobyl.
Yep.
Right? You can't live there anymore.
Yep.
I don't think. And then like you ruin some places, and then you just find other places. There's volcanoes bubbling up new land in other places, right? Isn't there?
Yeah, Iceland's 18 million years old. It's fucking brand new.
Is it? Yeah, and still making new stuff,
Still
right?
making new stuff. It's amazing. We were there a couple years ago. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when you really feel like you're on a planet, right? Yeah.
Things are happening geologically.
Yeah. I think that's cool as shit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So like, I don't want to litter. I don't want to do something irresponsible or anything like that. I just want to burn stuff.
My philosophy about climate change.
Yeah.
The two worst things you could do for the Earth is to have a kid, and to live past the age of 65. Those
Really?
are the two worst things you could ever do. Because the longer, that's you're lengthening your carbon footprint timeline. Right?
Oh, so you think you can use up your points, and then around 65
and
you're done?
out.
Yeah.
Right?
What happens then? You got to die?
I don't know. I guess. Or move.
Yeah, the Vikings used to just push old people off cliffs.
Yeah.
Really?
Right
That
off
was,
the,
that was a quick ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right off the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Really, they would, flat Earth. They would push them off a cliff when they got too old.
The edge of the earth. That's right.
That's why, but if you were old and tough, they're like, I'm not pushing Frank.
They're like, you
They'll
can't
fucking kill
walk
me.
anymore, and like, I can't believe you've lived this long,
Yeah.
all the way to 60.
They're going to kill
Back
that
in the
guy.
Viking days,
Your
that's a big
carbon
deal.
footprint is just too long.
Yeah, we can't feed this guy anymore. They got to push him off a cliff.
Yeah, but now 60-year-old people are like fit and like they.
I know. My he's in his 60s. He's healthier than me.
Yeah.
Like Benjamin Button. He's like going in reverse
That's the
now.
problem. It's people like that.
Yeah, but I think when I turn 60, I'm gonna be like that too. I think it's just getting that way. I think people are figuring things out with nutrition and with like supplements and with like vitamins and shit like that.
And have less kids or live less time or have less kids. That's the only way the math's going to work.
Because the people are the biggest causers of whatever.
I believe in that. I like that.
What if, I'm just going to throw this out there.
Okay.
What if, because I had 2 kids, now I'm feeling guilty. And
It's twice as many as I have.
and then Steve's got like 4. He hates the environment. And then, but he's just littered the earth with his seed,
Yeah.
He couldn't stop putting it into his wife's private womba.
Right. Yeah.
And then,
So many holes to choose from, and that's the one he
Yeah.
did 4 times.
yeah, just put in her belly button at the end.
Good one. It's a
Good
classic.
gentleman,
Yeah.
right?
Fair enough.
Small the back. There's lots of places. So, what was I saying? I started thinking about small the back. What was it? I was saying that
You got 2 kids.
I got 2 kids, so I should, to make it up to the earth, murder 2 people,
Yep. That sounds right.
right?
sounds right.
Now, this is a problem solver, okay? You're never gonna get people to stop fucking. People are still gonna have babies. You're making good points there. So, we also have to get rid of the old people, but we'll make sure that it's just old and infirm, right? So now you take a guy who gets a girl pregnant or whatever, you say, that's going to eat up your points, but if you murder one of these old people, you get your points back, right? And then
It can't be 1-to-1, though. I think you got to kill more.
more old people?
Yeah.
No problem. You have to kill 2 to get your points.
There you go.
Whatever it is. Like you set it up accordingly, you make quotas or whatever. You can't just let them kill willy-nilly. You get a ticket.
Right.
You got a ticket to kill an old person, you go out kill it. You're like, I'm sorry I had a baby or whatever, I'm going to do that. And then you're like, oh, you want to go on a trip to Jamaica to get married? Fucking kill 3 old people. Then go ahead, you can bring your whole wedding party, right? Because it's going to cost a lot with planes and all that stuff. Coldplay wants to go on tour? You better fucking hijack a bus on the way to a casino. Fucking mow those old people down. Right? That's what I think.
That's a sound theory.
Anyways, I think we're going to go with that. That is the Dutch Hall statement on the environment, on climate change. Sorry,
Way to
climate
address
change.
that, Pete. Way to address
Thank
that.
you. I addressed it. And in order that I got stayed on task, we did Wes's draw. We did climate change, kind of. And now flat Earth. I will end the show with flat Earth.
Weed.
Right? Flat Earth? Stupid.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough
See you,
said.
NT. See you next Thursday. Hit it, fellas.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Flat Earth.